Hello one and all, welcome to another F1 2019 video, and here is Silverstone Grand Prix. It's only a 5-lap race, but this race, oh my god, it was so intense for completely different reasons. This is our qualifying lap, and as you can see here, F1 2019 letting us know that the host is currently migrating, so yeah, don't know how long that's going to take, but as you'll see throughout this whole video, it migrates through the whole thing, so that's a fun little message to pop up constantly by our steering wheel. But yeah, going through the laps so far, it's been okay. It's not been one of my best laps, to be honest, but it seems like a solid enough attempt of a lap. Really did that part of the lap quite well, actually, through Cops there, but through Maggots and Beckett's, not Baggots and Beckett's. And yeah, set this bit up quite nicely with this car, to be honest. Yeah, taking advantage of the track limits with them being on lenient, I guess is the word for them. But yeah, it's been an okay lap. I wasn't expecting pole position with this lap, but I was expecting a solid enough attempt nonetheless, coming through the last few corners now, really hooking the car up quite nicely through there. And I don't run any fancy setups on this game either. Literally, I just run the default setup and then just knock the front wing down one for most circuits. Obviously, tracks where you need more or less downforce than that, then you apply. But there we are, 4th place in qualifying, not too bad. Half a second off pole, really close to 3rd place actually in the end. But yeah, we were in the mid 127s, the guys at the front were more towards the bottom end or top end, however you want to look at it, 127. But anyway, here is the race start, coming up to 5 red lights here for the home Grand Prix. And away we have shocking reaction times there. I was going to say away we go, we really don't. We get jumped by Dan Mack in the racing point, and yeah, that actually annoyed me because it looks like on there that I just completely clean took out the guy on my left, but I actually got a bump from, I don't know whether it was the Mercedes that just went by or whoever it was, but the Alfa Romeo just comes out of nowhere into that corner. So we go all the way down from 4th position to 7th. So, terrible start for us, even though we're trying to win this race. But we're in the slipstream of this Alfa Romeo. Can we try and brake late around the outside? We just lose a little bit of grip, and I think fairly he slams the door closed on me there. I'm mostly off the track. He's mostly ahead. So I just kind of had to back out of that one. Coming down to Cops now on the first lap. We still haven't even made up a position. We've only lost 3. And I think as you're about to see here, how the hell I avoided that. I mean, I know the Mercedes ghosted, but
that move was illegal. Return the position.
Really, I have to give that position up, even though he spun half a mile back down the road? Like, that is ridiculous. No master, sort your crap out. So obviously we're going to ignore that. We get the 3-second penalty, which has been bollocks, but that's Go Masters for you. Trying to challenge this guy for 3rd place in the Haas. And I feel like he's a bit defensive into corners where he doesn't need to be, but I just knew he was going to go back onto the racing line. So we go down the inside, get a lovely switch back into the last sector and coming on to the 2nd lap. So after all that, we actually end up making a position from our starting place. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Moving on to the middle of the 2nd lap. Not a lot happened. The Haas guy was actually really quick. He was sort of keeping up with me, but as you can see, the front 2 have already shot off into the distance. They're way out of DRS, so I'm guessing a good couple of seconds ahead, as we're going to see in the split time. We're 3.2 seconds ahead, but we're on for a pretty good lap here by the looks of it. We're sort of getting our groove together now, just breaking the slipstream of the Haas guy behind us, and look at that, he just completely abuses the track limits there here at Silverstone. Of course, with the corner cutting leniency being on, not being on, however you word it, yeah, it's sort of, you can abuse track limits for days here at Silverstone unless it's on strict corner cutting. But coming on to lap 3 now, this was actually my fastest lap of the race. The guy in front did a 129.2, so we're all about 2 seconds slower than we were in qualifying. He's battling, I'm in clean air, but he's also got the benefit of slipstream and DRS now on this lap, which I did not through any of this race, which was you know, interesting to try and close up on the front 2. We have gained slightly, we're just 3 seconds, or is that 3.8? Can't quite tell. But yeah, we did solid through the first sector, only 4,400ths off our current lap, but we're slowly dropping the Haas driver behind us. We're sort of getting into it a little bit more now. Beautiful run through Copse there, 180 mile an hour. I could only imagine what it would be like to go through that corner in real life, coming through Maggots and Beckett. We get a snap in the rear, abusing the track limits there, slightly cutting over the curbs, but still keeping all four wheels on the track if you're counting curbs as the track purple through the middle sector, not surprisingly. We gain on the guys in front, now only 2.5 seconds behind them, so we are gaining on these two guys battling away. And look at that, where is he off to? And I don't know whether he got a penalty or got disqualified, because he actually just stopped on the side of the track there. So the guy that was right behind us, as we get a massive wobble through the end of the last sector, and that sees us get the fastest lap of the race, a 129.025. If we hadn't have got wobbled up into that last corner, I think we easily could have been on for a sub 129. But anyway, we're still closing in on the front two guys. We've only got 1.5 laps to go really, but if they keep squabbling away, we might be able to close up to them a little bit more. It's a mix between, is it an Alfa Romeo or is it a Ferrari? I think it might be a Ferrari and a McLaren out in front, but we've just got to keep doing our own thing. They knowing they're getting the DRS benefits every time down the straight. Dirty air isn't really a thing, I don't think, in this game. I've never really felt it all too much, but we come across the line and look now, visibly closer now, 1.6 seconds. All we need to do is just keep this kind of pace up. And look, you can actually see their gamer tags now above their heads into the slower corners, where obviously you will Constantine are up. Going another 10th quicker into the first sector, they actually pull out even more because of the slipstream and DRS, but if we just keep this momentum up, we might be able to get onto them onto the last lap. It's gonna be a push, but it's the last lap. Anything can happen between these two guys. Going through Copse one more time, 180 mile an hour, actually getting a brilliant exit through there. But as you can see, we're having to manage our fuel at this point, and our ERS is pretty low, so it doesn't really look like. There you go, made a big mistake through there, gone wide. That's easily given them half a second, and I didn't give them quite as much as I thought, but that's the end of our race essentially. Still third place with that 3-second penalty. I think we're just about... Are you joking? Are you serious? He beat my fastest lap by 1,000th of a second. That just takes the piss. Are you joking? The only thing I had in this race as sort of a consolation prize was the fastest lap, and then he goes and beats it by 1,000th of a second because of slipstream and DRS. Yes, he was battling for the lap, but oh, that is just... wow. So there you are, guys. Not the closest race in terms of on track, but the closest race in terms of fastest lap. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. No, I'm not. But look at that. The top three all within the same 10th, pretty much. Almost within the same 100th. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.